Right, time for another honest chat. The easiest way to absolutely bin your startup in 2026? Build another marketing tool for another startup, another Slack bot, another AI-powered email scheduler that nobody really asked for. The easiest way to actually win? Look where nobody else is looking. Construction sites, trucking depots, factory floors, care homes. I know what you're thinking. Mate, that's about as sexy as a wet Tuesday in Croydon. And you'd be right. While everyone's out here fighting over who can build the shiniest AI chatbot, smart money is quietly moving into industries so boring they put your nan to sleep. And they're about to make an absolute fortune. So here's what's happening. You know Andreessen Horowitz, massive VC firm, $45 billion under management. The lot who backed Facebook, Airbnb, all the usual Silicon Valley suspects. Well, in 2023, they launched something called the American Dynamicism Fund. And get this, they put $600 million into it. Not for apps, not for consumer tech, but for manufacturing, defense, housing, and supply chain. That's right. The same firm that made billions on social media is now betting big on logistics and factories. And they're not alone. In their latest $7.2 billion fundraise in 2024, American Dynamicism is one of their core strategies alongside AI and crypto. They've been hosting summits in Washington, getting government officials involved, proper serious business. Now, when Silicon Valley types start wearing hard hats and talking about industrial transformation, you know something shifted. These aren't charity donations. This is cold, hard venture capital moving into sectors that most tech bros wouldn't touch with a barge pole. Why? Because they've spotted what everyone else missed, while we're all distracted by ChatGPT. Right, here's the uncomfortable truth. These industries aren't just short on workers, they're absolutely desperate. Let me throw some numbers at you. In the US, as of late 2024, about 20.6% of manufacturing plants reported labor shortages. That's 1 in 5 factories struggling to find people. In the UK, manufacturers took a $1.4 billion hit in the year to July 23, just from not having enough staff. Construction, even worse. 61% of US manufacturers say they're struggling to fill critical gaps. The UK's got chronic shortages in skilled trades like electricians, plumbers and welders, the kind of jobs that actually keep society running. And here's the kicker. These industries aren't looking for tech to grow, they just need tech to survive. They're not trying to 10x their revenue, they're trying not to completely collapse because they can't find enough humans to do the work. Logistics, labour shortages hitting 20% of businesses in knowledge worker roles, 18% for logistics managers, 16% for drivers. Truck drivers, welders and plumbers are short in 19 to 21 countries globally. It's not a local problem, it's everywhere. Elder care, absolutely mental. The global population aged 60 and above is expected to hit 2 billion by 2050. Countries like the US, Japan, South Korea face extreme shortages of caregivers in 2021. 37.1 million Americans, that's 14% of the working population, provided unpaid elder care because there literally aren't enough professionals. So when VCs look at these industries, they're not seeing innovation opportunities, they're seeing existential crisis. And mate, that's the kind of market opportunity where your customers isn't browsing options, they're drowning, desperately looking for a life raft. Alright, here's where it gets properly mad. You know how competitive the SaaS space is? You're fighting with 47 other companies. Just to get someone to switch from Notion to your project management tool, you'll need to be 100x better just to get noticed. But in construction, manufacturing, they're still running on pen and paper, actual clipboards, Excel spreadsheets from 2003, email chains that would make you weep. The bar for a 10x better product is on the floor. Let me paint you a picture. Your average construction project involves dozens of people, architects, engineers, contractors, subcontractors. They're all coordinating through PDFs, WhatsApp groups, printed documents. They get soaked in the rain. Someone literally driving across town to get a signature. In logistics, most freight forwarding companies are still heavily human dependent. Companies like Flexport, saw this and went, if we just put it online, revolutionary, right? Like it's 1998, but in freight forwarding, that was revolutionary. Manufacturing. A 2024 survey found 31% of production lines are understaffed and nearly half say it takes longer to fill positions than a year ago. The pain is so acute that even digital tools are seen as game changers. Here's the thing that tech people don't get. In these industries, you don't need to invent some bleeding edge AI solution. You just need to bring them into 2015, maybe 2018, if you're feeling ambitious. Oh, you can track your shipment in real time? That's amazing, said someone in 2025 about technology that's been standard in Domino's pizza tracking since 2008. So, does this actually work? Are VCs making money on boring old industries? Oh, are they ever? Let's talk Procore, construction management software, properly unsexy. They help contractors manage projects, documents, all of that. Founded in 2002. Took them ages to get going, but by 2024, they're pulling in $1.2 billion in annual revenue. Their market cap over $11 billion. They went public in 2021 and they're just steadily growing. No drama, no hype cycles, just boring, profitable growth. Their revenue went from 4.8 million in 2012 to 400 million in 2020 to 1.2 billion in 2024. That's construction software, an industry where most tech investors thought was a dead end. Then there's Flexport, freight forwarding, which sounds about as exciting as watching paint dry in a particularly dull shade of beige. But they raised 2.5 billion and hit 8 billion valuation at their peak. Revenue, it moved from basically nothing to 3.3 billion by 2021. Yes, they had some rough patches. The freight market is volatile. But the point is, there was a massive market that was completely underserved by technology. And here's what's mental. These aren't even the most successful. They're just the ones that we know about because they went public or raised massive rounds. How many construction tech companies are out there quietly doing £50 million a year in revenue? How many logistics platforms are serving mid-market companies you've never heard of? How many manufacturing software businesses are bootstrapped to profitability because they found an actual problem and just solved it? The elder care assisted robots market expected to grow from 2.2 billion in 2024 to 5 billion by 2031. The broader senior care market is projected to go from 49.2 billion in 2024 to 101.62 billion in 2034. AI in aging and elderly care is valued at 47.4 billion in 2024 and predicted to reach 322.4 billion by 2034. That's a 21% compound annual growth rate. And it's not speculative, it's happening right now. So why should you care? Whether you're a founder, an investor, or just someone trying to figure out where tech is actually headed. Because this is the most significant shift in VC strategy in probably a decade. While everyone was piling into AI consumer apps, which, let's be honest, most of them are solving a problem that nobody actually has, the smart money recognized something fundamental. The biggest opportunities aren't in creating new needs. They're in solving old problems. These industries, construction, manufacturing, logistics, elder care, they're not going anywhere. They're not optional. You can't disrupt your way out of needing buildings. You can't pivot away from caring for the elderly. You can't growth hack your way around moving physical goods. And that's precisely why they're such good investments. The labor crisis isn't going away. If anything, it's getting worse. Aging populations, immigration restrictions, younger generations choosing different careers. These sectors are facing long-term structural labor shortages. And that means technology isn't a nice to have, it's essential. And when something becomes essential, customers pay for it. They don't churn, they don't price shop, they integrate it into their businesses and hold on tight. So yeah, the boring industries aren't boring anymore. They're where the money is. While everyone's building the next ChatGPT wrapper, VCs are quietly funding construction software logistics platforms, and care home tech. And honestly, it's about time. Maybe we don't need another app to tell us what to watch on Netflix. Maybe we need software that helps builders actually build things, trucks that actually arrive on time, care systems that don't collapse under pressure. Unsexy, absolutely. Profitable, absurdly so. Welcome to the blue collar boom. Hard hats optional, returns guaranteed.